you had the best task management system put in place, one that worked for you, whether it's sticky notes, to-do lists, notebooks, planners, digital apps, doesn't matter, the system works for you. Do you believe deep down in your soul that would help you get more done, be more productive? If you answered yes, you're just like me. Somewhere along the lines, I started to believe having a good task management system equaled productivity and getting things done. But that's almost like saying, if I had a bank account at the best bank in the world, I'd have more money. Yeah, bank account does not equal more money. Task management does not equal productivity. So let's talk about what task management really is, what I look for when I come up with a system, and I will give you some tips on what I've been working on the last few months on how to actually solve our real problem, which is task initiation and executive function and pushing through to actually doing things on that system or in that system. How's everybody doing? Welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for joining me, and I have to take a few seconds to let you guys know that I really appreciate you guys. I have received a lot of comments over the last month or so, and those comments are still trickling in, and you guys are commenting on your own personal experiences and how it relates to mine, and the fact that you like my videos and the way I do my content. I am overwhelmed with the support I am receiving from you guys, so thank you guys so much, and keep those comments coming, and I will try and keep the content coming. With that said, let's talk about task management systems, what to look for, and what our real problem is, because it's not the system itself. Task management does just that. It manages your tasks. It does three things. It is a perfect system. The first, does it track your task? Is it a place that you could put your tasks to where you don't forget them, because you know us, we'll forget everything, and easy for you to refer back to it so that you know what you need to do? Then it's doing a good job. Number two, does it track when those tasks are due? If it does, it's doing an even better job. And number three is mostly for my benefit, but hopefully for yours. Is it easy to access? That's one reason why I don't like pen or paper, is because sometimes I'm out running an errand, filling up on gas, and I have an idea or a task that I just thought about that I need to do, and I have no place to put it because I don't have the pen and paper with me. If it does those three things, then your task management system is perfect. But the problem that we have, or at least me, is the moment I start struggling with getting those tasks done and I put it into that system is the moment I blame the system and go, I need to come up with a new system. The system's not working for me. And that's because all my life, no matter if it's parents, teachers, employers, friends, family, everybody told me, you need a good task management system in place. That'll help you get things done. The system's not broken. It's my executive function and task initiation. So that brings me into, how are we gonna push forward and do the things that we need to do that we put into that system? And I got about 4 tips. The first is I body double without the body. Now, I know that sounds weird. If you don't know, body doubling is just having somebody in the room while you're doing your task and they're doing theirs. Sometimes they can help out with the task if that causes for it, but for the most part, kind of gives you kind of like a guilty motivation almost, because you'll feel guilty if you get sidetracked or distracted easily. It's just a way to have somebody in the room to kind of get us to focus on what we need to be focused on. I don't like that. I don't like the body double. I always feel like I'm being judged on how I'm doing the task. And even if I check my email on my phone, I feel that they're looking at me, with the side eye thinking, you shouldn't be doing that. And it just makes me feel even more guilty. I don't like the body double. But I figured out a way to do it without the body. In essence, or in reality, you guys are my body double. Sort of. I actually set up my camera. I take this camera, I set it up, I point it at me, and I put a scenario in my head that somebody's going to see this video. And I don't want them seeing me sitting there for 3 hours on YouTube or TikTok or researching things that I'm hyper-focused in. Sometimes I won't even hit record. I'll just set up the camera, because just having it there allows me to think that somebody's going to see this video if it was recording, and I don't want them seeing me being distracted. Oh, I also use it as kind of like a note-taking system, because a lot of times if I do get in the groove, if I initiate the task and I'm pushing forward and now I'm motivated to get this thing done, all of a sudden I'll come up with an idea or another task that I need to do, and I don't want to stop what I'm doing because that's going to interrupt my groove. So all I'll do is look over the camera and say, hey, remember to pick up milk, or hey, this is a great idea to do for a video, that type of thing. After I'm done with the task, I go back through the footage and I take all that information out and I put it into my task management system. So yeah, it works in many different ways. If you don't have a camera like a DSLR or a mirrorless camera or anything like that, use your phone. Again, you don't have to hit record, but grab a tripod that's like $5-10 on Amazon for your phone, set it up and just point it at you. I do it at work, I do it at home, I do it while I'm doing the dishes, I do it all over the place. So yeah, body double without the body. It works for me, sometimes. you know how that goes. The next tip relates to the first tip, but for you, it's a little differently. Take an interest that's really interesting to you and try to incorporate that into a task that you're doing. So for example, I love cameras, I love video, I love taking photos, and so it's an interest of mine. So sometimes I won't use it as a body double. I'll actually try to think of, well, how can I shoot this to make washing dishes look cool? What angles can I get? How can I, shoot this into a small little video? And most of the time I don't even edit the videos to put it together. I just shoot it because it helps me do the task. Now, a caveat to that is it does take me longer to do the task. Instead of 20 minutes of doing the dishes, it takes me 2 hours. But that's because I gotta wash one dish and then change the camera angle, wash another dish, and then figure out how to get some movement into my videos, because I'm shooting alone. So I think of all that, and it's gonna take me longer to do the task. But like I said in my last video, it doesn't matter how you did the task. The matter is, you got the task done. So who cares, right? It took me 2 hours, big deal, but the dishes are done. Number 3 does not necessarily work with quick deadline type of tasks. So if your boss comes in and says, here's a new task, we need it done by the end of the day, it might not work. But if you have a task that does have a deadline, but it's 2 weeks away, then it may work, depending on if you could actually initiate those tasks before the deadline. On my daily to-do list, what I have to do today, I try to incorporate about 3 to 4 things that I want to take care of. Now, there is a warning on this that I'll put at the end of this tip, but I can start with a task that I don't want to do. And the moment I start to get distracted or bored with this task, I switch into the task that I want to do. And hopefully that'll give me enough dopamine to kind of switch back into a task that I don't want to do and keep me in the groove of being productive. The warning that I want to tell you is try to come up with small tasks that you possibly will not get hyper-focused on. Because a few months ago when I tried to implement this, my task that I wanted to do was script a video. So I started a task and only worked about an hour on the task I didn't want to do. Started getting bored, started getting distracted, so I switched into scripting the video. So now I just spent an hour on a task that I don't want to do and 3 to 4 hours on scripting a video. And next thing you know, the day's done and I didn't get anything done. Tip number 4 is more of a mindset when it comes to task initiation. I got this from a TikToker. She's an ADHD coach who has ADHD herself, and I really wish I could remember her name because I'm all about giving credit because this is in my content. But she talks about more of changing the language we use when we come to talking about task initiation and other ADHD symptoms. And it's like if you change your mindset in the way you say that you need to take care of a task, it actually changes your motivation. It actually changes the way you think about it. So for example, 99.9% of people, they say, I need to do this when they're talking about a task they need to do. The moment somebody with ADHD hears the, I need to do this, or you have to do this, our brain shuts off. It's like, we don't want to do it. If you have to do it, it is boring and uninteresting. We just don't want to have anything to do with it. I actually say, I need to do this because. And then I look for a kind of a meaning of why I need to complete this task. Now, I don't look for the surface level meaning of why. I look for a slightly deeper meaning of why. Doing the dishes. I don't want to say, I need to do the dishes or my wife's going to get mad and frustrated with me. Well, that's kind of a given. I mean, I told her I was going to do the dishes. I didn't do the dishes, and now she's kind of frustrated because now she has to come home and do the dishes. My wife takes care of my brain along with my older son's brain. She makes sure that my son has everything he needs for school. She makes sure that I have everything I need for work. She makes sure we're on time for appointments and games and practices and keeps our schedule all organized. Plus, takes care of herself. At the bare minimum I could do is do the dishes. I just took that off her plate. No pun intended. So that she could go upstairs and read a book or watch TikTok or take a nap. So try and think of the meaningful why, the purpose behind it of why you're doing the task. And I think that'll motivate you to at least start the task. And again, hopefully it'll snowball and you'll get motivated and get into that groove and finish the task. And 4 others on your list. So those are my tips on how to actually get to the tasks that we put in the system. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that we have to think of task management differently? Do you guys agree that task management does not equal productivity? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments because I love reading your guys' comments. Thank you again for leaving so many comments. I really do appreciate it, and I'm eager to see what you guys think about this topic. So I hope you got something out of this video. If you liked the video, hit the like button. It definitely helps me out, and I will see you next time.